I'm 66 years old. If I lost everything tomorrow, no retirement, no house, no safety net, and all I had was $100,000. Here's exactly how I would rebuild my wealth in 2026. Not theory, not fantasy, not if I was 25 again. This is what I would actually do, with 20 years left on the clock. And trust me, after living through the crash of 1987, the dot-com collapse, the 2008 meltdown, and the pandemic panic, I've learned something most people don't understand. At 66, the wrong move doesn't just hurt, it can end the game. So, if you're over 50, or you love someone who is, or you want to avoid making catastrophic mistakes later in life, stay with me, because this strategy could change your future. And at this stage, there are no do-overs. The brutal truth about starting over at 66. Let's be honest. Starting over at 66 isn't the same as starting over at 26. You don't have 40 years of compounding. You don't have unlimited risk tolerance. You don't have the luxury of a 50% portfolio drop and waiting it out. But here's what you do have: experience, perspective, emotional maturity, pattern recognition, and most importantly, discipline. And discipline beats hype every time. The biggest mistake I see? People my age do one of two things. 1. They go ultra-conservative out of fear. 2. Or ultra-aggressive out of desperation. Both are dangerous. Let me explain. What I would not do if I had $100,000 and had to start over in 2026. Here's what I would absolutely not do. I would not hide in cash. Yes, it feels safe. But if inflation runs at 3 to 4% and you earn 2%, you're going backwards, silently, slowly. Guaranteed. Safety that guarantees decline isn't safety. I would not chase 12% dividends. If you see a stock paying 12%, it's usually bleeding. High yield is often a warning sign, not an opportunity. Dividend cuts destroy portfolios at this age. I would not gamble on meme stocks or hype. Crypto moonshots, AI penny stocks, TikTok insider plays. At 66, you cannot afford a 50% wipeout. You don't gamble with rebuilding capital. I would not ignore taxes. At this stage, tax efficiency matters more than stock picking. If you're losing 25 to 30% to taxes unnecessarily, that compounds against you. Now let's talk about what I would do. The 3 models I would use. This is where it gets powerful. Depending on your situation, I'd choose one of 3 structured models. No guessing, no emotional decisions, just allocation discipline. The conservative foundation, best for someone needing immediate income, low volatility tolerance, limited additional income sources. Allocation: 40% dividend-paying stocks, 30% bonds and bond funds, 20% REITs, 10% international exposure. Why? Because income stability matters most. You need cash flow, reduced volatility, inflation protection. Balanced growth. Best for someone with Social Security or pension income, moderate risk tolerance, 15 to 25-year horizon. Allocation: 50% dividend growth stocks, 25% bonds, 15% REITs, 10% alternatives. This balances income plus growth plus protection. The legacy builder, best for adequate retirement income, focus on generational wealth, comfortable with market swings. Allocation: 60% growth and dividend stocks, 20% bonds, 15% REITs, 5% emerging markets. This is about long-term compounding for children and grandchildren. Now, let's go deeper. The dividend strategy that actually works at 66. Dividends are your paycheck. But not just any dividends. Focus on companies that have raised dividends for 25+ years. If I had $100,000, $30,000 into dividend aristocrats, $20,000 into dividend ETFs. Target yield: 3 to 4%. That alone produces roughly $1,500 to $2,000 per year to start. And it grows. Adding real estate without being a landlord. I wouldn't buy rental property at 66 if I was starting over. Too much work, too much stress, too many surprises. Instead, REITs. They give you exposure to commercial real estate without fixing toilets. Healthcare REITs are particularly powerful because the population is aging. Medical demand rises. Long-term demographic tailwinds. I'd allocate $15,000 to diversified REIT ETFs, $10,000 to sector-focused REITs. Target yield, 4 to 6%. The passive income ladder. Now we stack. 1. Dividends. 2. REIT income. 3. Covered call strategy. 4. Bond ladder. Covered calls add 1 to 2% additional yield annually, if done properly. Bond laddering protects you from rate risk. Tax strategy. Most people miss. This is huge. If I qualify, I open a Roth IRA. Why? No required minimum distributions. That's powerful. Your heirs can inherit tax-free growth. At 66, you must think beyond yourself. Health strategy is investing strategy. Medical expenses are the #1 retirement destroyer. If eligible, open an HSA. Triple tax advantage, tax deductible, tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawals for medical after 65, use for anything, taxed like IRA. The mindset shift that changes everything. At 66, rebuilding isn't about getting rich. It's about freedom, security, dignity, legacy. You're not racing anymore. You're engineering stability. And remember something powerful. At 66, average life expectancy still gives you 20+ years. That's 2 decades. Compounding still works. If $100,000 grows at 6% for 20 years, that becomes over $320,000. Add reinvested dividends? Even more. That's how you rebuild. What this could actually produce. Conservative model could generate $4,000 to $6,000 annual income initially. Balanced model, $5,000 to $7,000. Legacy model, lower starting income, but stronger long-term growth. And remember, reinvesting half accelerates growth dramatically. Final warning. The real danger at 66 isn't market crashes. It's emotional decision-making, selling during panic, chasing during euphoria. Discipline wins, always. If you're over 50, if you're rebuilding, if you refuse to let age define your financial future, here's what I want you to do. 1. Comment below your age and how much you're starting with. 2. Hit the like button so this reaches someone who needs it. 3. Subscribe to Real World Investing, because I break down real strategies for real people, not fantasy finance. And most importantly, don't wait. Because the biggest mistake at 66 is thinking it's too late. It's not. You still have time. You still have power. You still have options. And if you start today, 20 years from now, you won't be saying, "I wish I had." You'll be saying, "I'm glad I did." I'll see you in the next video.